Rev-Up Slu, the alpha of radio.
Up next, Hard Drive. Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X. Welcome to Hard Drive for today, Wednesday, the 25th of June. I'm Andre Paul, the co-host of the show. To my immediate left, none other than my brother, Tony Paul. Tony, good morning.
From the same mother. From the same mother. Don't you dare forget that.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning, everyone on the live, wherever you might be watching us or listening to us, including today's Wednesday. Well, maybe they're still there. DBS. Hi, good morning. And I have to say a very special good morning to Linda Daher. Of course, maybe 1 or 2 weeks now, her mom passed away.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Andrew, we mentioned that.
Yeah, we did mention it.
We did?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that one flew over your head because we did not elaborate. Just perhaps.
You may remember us talking about her brother,
Paul.
Yeah.
It was around the same time we did talk about his
So maybe. Oh my gosh.
Tony mentioned it, and you spoke about working at DBS and so on, and the brother and how you got there. And
I gotta give Linda a call, man.
Andre, this is honest. You're very, very honest. I'm aware of that. I'll tell you why. Man, this is something you would continue to bring up all the time.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm bringing it up now, because Andre, I have not mentioned that.
We did.
We did, Andre. We did
we
for
didn't,
sure. Ain't no two ways about it. The one, just like I said, maybe just flew right over.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because you would definitely do that.
But Linda, sorry to hear about the passing of your mom.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, no doubt she's going for a rough time, I'm sure.
Sorry about that. Sorry about the news. But right now, I think Linda needs kisses from all of us.
And sorry, apologize for you checking in without being introduced.
Oh, yes, sorry, Boje. Yes, you're lovely, Keena. Sorry. We were just taking up with the conversation.
It happens sometimes.
Sorry about that.
Good morning,
So, Keena,
viewers.
welcome, Keena. Nice to see you.
No, I don't like that introduction. Sorry. I'm going to wait.
Well, Tony, you want to try?
You see, the thing is, according to her, what happened was, she's accustomed to the lovely Keena.
You think?
Isn't that why you say it?
That's not how he says it.
Oh gosh, well only he can say it the way he says it.
Let me ask you, Keena. I mean, as a lovely Keena who has your lovely lady, your beautiful lady, very, very often, when a guy says that to you, does it really,
No.
I figure.
Some girls get that so often that it doesn't faze them. It doesn't faze them.
Man, really?
So, already know I am.
Wait.
That's one. On top of that, my family
sir.
says it all the time. And on top of that, when your significant other gives you that praise all the time, you don't need it from anybody else. Come on now. And you already knew it. Like, seriously.
Yes.
I don't know
feeling
about
myself.
that. I don't know about that.
So in general. So say, for example, if a guy wants to date a girl and the usual thing is, wow, you're so beautiful, but she has it all the time. Does that really, engender her to him since she has it all the time, or she may like it because it's that guy saying it?
It depends on the individual.
Maybe that's exactly what
it depends on the individual. So, yeah.
But for you, if
it didn't move in me one bit. I try that.
So if a guy you really like, you're attracted to this guy, and he comes up to you and he's talking to you.
Don't try that part. No, not at all.
Don't say you're lovely.
No. You're not gonna win me over our pop. It's not gonna work.
You forgot that part, man. The man said he asked if you're already interested in you.
No, it's not gonna work.
Wow,
I don't understand you.
So. What is it now that would impress you?
Moving on. It's not that part is not gonna work with me, but I'm not gonna say what else. Next thing somebody tries it.
I'm sure Nikki's ears were Poked.
Nikki, as you said, he's been quiet for a bit.
He's been quiet for a
But
bit.
he messaged yesterday.
He
He
sent
messaged
a
yesterday.
WhatsApp message yesterday.
So
yeah.
I was the problem then.
No.
As long as I'm there, he figured I ain't got no.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Maybe he was with his other woman.
Maybe.
Isn't that what he said? Oh, sorry, Nikki, I'm just playing.
Maybe he's going from a midlife crisis or
Oh boy,
something.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. take a little break.
Or maybe his woman said, you know what? I heard you've been sending messages to Rev-Up's platform and saying hi to Keena. You better
Stop. I think so. That's a big possibility.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I'm sure solutions talk a lot.
Oh yeah.
Solutions talk a lot, boy.
Yes.
Why? But am I being unfair to solutions by saying that? Because isn't the chatter thing all over the world as the way
It's
people
all over
are?
the world in communities. It's like that
Why
everywhere.
do we like that? Why do we like that sort of thing? When we see a soap, so we can't wait to go and run our mouths, say what we see and we didn't see. Why are human beings that
so
way? What do you
invested
think?
in other people's lives?
What a question!
Because
Great
we're
question.
just inquisitive by nature. I think.
Yeah, but even to the point of going and
That's the thing.
And
talk
talking about it and-
exaggerate it,
Yeah.
and sometimes outright lie about it.
Yes,
Oh well,
yes.
yeah, I have no idea.
But you agree this is a
Yeah,
worldwide.
I agree. It's a worldwide thing. It's
Yeah,
not just
not
St. Lucia.
solutions,
No,
yeah.
no. It's a worldwide thing.
Yeah. I don't know why we feel we need to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But not everybody does that. I'll tell
Not
you that.
everyone does it.
Andrea,
No.
I on that.
I'm not on that at
I'm
all.
not on that
Andrea,
either.
not on that at all. Like you have often said. You see, when you get certain videos and so on, I ain't sharing that.
Depending-
Same here. I don't share it. Nothing.
Like you see, for example, somebody sends me a video of two persons now who are exposed. When I say exposed, they caught, right, in the
Right.
act.
Mhm.
Me, I'm not sharing that.
Andrea, so much so. Blau, morning Blau, hope you're there. You know what Blau said to me? Every day we're reading the messages, and it's somebody would say, like your Lucita Jean-Pierre would say, share the live, and and Andre, so I'm reading this and I'm saying, hey, hurry up and share the live, and I ain't sharing no live. Blau tell me that, I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm supposed to share it.
Well, if she's saying, well, you work here, so you might as well share it. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was supposed to share it. You know what I mean? Or I can share
Well,
it.
what happened was you didn't get the memo.
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyway.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so a couple of mentions, Tony, very important because yesterday you were not here, and I think I saw the message a little late. But our dearly beloved sister Dawn and our dearly beloved brother-in-law Jonathan
Right.
celebrated their 21st wedding anniversary
Yes.
yesterday.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to know what the formula is.
Inquiring minds want to know. We three want to know.
I wanna know.
Yeah.
What's the secret, man?
All I know, all I can tell you, I know for sure. I mean, Don loves him, but
Yeah.
he loves Don. I can't begin to tell you how much. Yeah, he's just so enamored with her,
Oh,
and
great.
from day one, it's been like that, and it just continues to be that way. Yeah, he says anything my wife wants, that's fine.
That's right.
That's how he is.
Amazing.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And they've been together for 25 years,
That's right.
and married for 21.
He's one that believes happy wife.
Happy home.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That is true.
I agree.
Yeah, of course you'll agree with that. Of course you'll agree with that.
Whatever.
I wonder if that works for everybody.
I suspect so, Andre. If the woman is happy, you're happy, man.
Yeah.
I rather suspect
And
so.
when
But how do
when,
we make you all happy? What's
bring peace
uh,
into our lives.
ask Jonathan.
It's more than money, you know.
Andre,
Bring peace,
ask Jonathan.
Andre. There's so many different. Yeah, ask Jonathan.
That's what you hear what Keena said.
Yeah.
Bring peace into our lives.
Yes, man.
That's kind of it. Because
Yeah.
again, make the woman happy.
Make her
Your
happy.
question is, how do we make her happy?
Yes, I was asking that question.
But I
Everything
just said to you.
Everything
Yes.
she wants.
Just give it to her.
No, it's more than
That's
just
peace. That's peace.
yeah, that's peace
That's
too.
peace.
Because everything
Yeah.
she wants, she doesn't want. Pretty much that's peace. But Andre's thinking finances there. I'm sure. I'm sure. I could guarantee everyone that's where his mind is.
Well,
Isn't it?
actually, I was thinking about that as well as they now bringing drama into your life.
What?
What about that
you know,
one?
a lot of women don't bring drama into men's lives.
You want to introduce me?
No, but it's true.
I'll meet one.
If a
I'll
man
meet one.
does the right thing
I'll meet one.
consistently, there's no need for her to bring the drama. Unless if you go out there and you found a woman that's just overly dramatic, everything is a problem, then I don't know what stage in your life you were, but you saw the signs, and that's what you brought into your life. So sounds Juente Chebe. But generally most women are not that way, you know. No. You have to for a lot of women you have to do something to over and over and over and over and over and over.
And what would that look like? What is it that we have to be doing to make you
ignoring, not cleaning the house, not cleaning after yourself, not doing the dishes if something she says okay do it, not being gentle enough, not being understanding, not being supportive, cheating. But that's very, very simple. You know, no, but the same thing is bringing peace. No, but I mean, what would you want your woman to do? You know, really.
Everything you just said there.
You know, really and truly, exactly. You know, really and truly, a lot of men want women to do so much. They want us to clean the house, take care of the children.
But you just said.
No, but it's supposed to be a partnership, Andre.
Well, you didn't say that.
No, but come on, you don't think it should be a partnership?
Let me tell you something. You know, people get spoiled very, very quickly. If a guy starts to do the cleaning, the washing, the cooking, and everything,
that becomes your job.
It becomes his job.
Why
the ladies
think
actually
of women
say
that way every time?
No, I'm saying that that if you start any guy who starts doing this sort of thing, after a while. But I meet people like that all the time. I meet couples like that. They actually tell you, the lady says to you, he does everything. He does everything.
Okay, well.
They get used to it.
If he does everything and he says to his partners, well, it's okay, sweetie, I'll handle it.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
Don't do it anymore. I'll handle it. Women do work really hard, you know.
Yes, of course.
And same as men, you know. So it should be a partnership. Let's end there.
Yeah. Of course, I agree. It should be a partnership. I agree. But you're right about the drama thing. So let's if we're not supposed to bring drama into the ladies' lives, they shouldn't also bring drama into our lives.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you say it's the drama that causes the sadness, right? So let's both ensure we bring the happiness, no drama, and we good.
Just imagine you did ring in my ear every day. What means putting my two legs just here ring.
All right. So as I was saying, so Jonathan and Dawn celebrated their 21st wedding anniversary yesterday. So congratulations, Dawn. Congratulations, Jonathan. I always say she's the best sister in the entire world. That's for sure.
Congratulations.
Dawn, the thing about Dawn is that she loves her family.
Oh gosh, yes.
That's good.
She took that from Mama.
Yeah, she got it from her mom.
Yeah, that's our grandmother was just like that.
Trait.
Okay, so
family was everything.
Family is everything.
To our grandmother, family was everything. So much so that they came from all around, all over, to visit my grandmother.
Oh, that's great.
From everywhere. Her nephews, the nieces, wherever they came from, man, they landed. As soon as they landed at the airport.
Mama
first.
Mama first.
Auntie Tatai.
Tatai? That's a sweet name.
Auntie Tatai.
Auntie Tatai.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
it's true.
Andre, all of them.
It's true.
Yep.
They all came visiting. All of them. Yeah, so that's Dawn, family person, and Jonathan, and can't get a better brother-in-law than that.
Yeah.
And he's a white guy.
Every time you say that, I have a problem with that.
Man is a
man.
The man is a man.
No.
Yeah.
Tony, listen.
You kind of put in black people in a box there. Don't go there.
I just thought I should finally mention.
He's a man who loves his sister unconditionally.
But hold on. So I don't have an opinion.
Well, not right now.
So I don't have an opinion. so the two of you can have an opinion. I have to respect your opinion. And my opinion is not being respected
because it makes sense.
Because what you said makes sense?
Yes.
Let's not go there.
Google that for me.
Hold on.
I finished that already.
No, don't finish. Don't finish because you'll probably continue to say.
Let's done with
probably continue to say he's a white man.
I will not say it anymore. Leave it alone.
No, Andre, you do have an opinion, and we respect your opinion.
No, but because the thing is that I've been making my comment. This is my comment. And you have to respect that. You can't want to come and just diss me.
No, we do.
No.
Take care. I don't walk off the show. Yeah, I woke up my own show.
Oh my goodness. You know what, Andre? I love it when you get like that, you know.
Yeah.
It is rare, but I love it when you get like that. You go on with your bad self.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, can we continue?
Right
We would
now.
love to, but boy.
No, seriously, what you just did took me out.
He got mad.
Let's just
We
get.
went back to a couple of years ago when he used to be mad. What made him mad?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue right now.
Yeah,
Serious.
you know,
I'm
this
serious right
brother
now.
of mine, he thinks that every time he doesn't like something, I'm not supposed to like it.
Nah, not at
Nah,
all.
not
No, I mean, I'm a free spirit. I should have my say. It's my say. That's how I feel.
Andre, the more you hit your chest, okay, where?
Yeah, that's
The
how,
more you hit your chest.
that's how I feel. So, you know, if you don't like it, man, lump it.
I
Because
haven't heard that in a while.
yeah, that's right.
How can we move on when you keep giving jokes?
I know, right?
If you
Andre,
don't like
do
it,
it
lump
again.
it.
Hit your chest. I love to see that. I haven't seen someone do that in such a long time, though.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Well,
That's why I'm laughing, but
Ooh.
it's all good.
mhm.
The joke is not on you, it's on me.
What?
Thank you for making me
You see,
laugh.
you all don't understand me. That's the problem.
We do, actually.
No, you don't.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh,
You're
we
far
do.
from that. So let's go now.
I was
Let's
gonna
go.
bring a point.
Let's go.
You say let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's
Me,
move
I'm
on.
on the other side.
Let's move
I'm
on.
out of it right now.
Yeah, let's move on. Also celebrating their wedding anniversary today is a very special buddy of mine, Robert Cauldron,
Yeah.
better known as Pool Bois.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's celebrating his wedding anniversary with his beautiful wife, Christine, and they're celebrating their 31st wedding anniversary.
Whoa.
So bravo.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Congratulations,
Bravo, Pool
Robert
Bois.
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Yeah, bravo, partner. Bravo.
Why Pool Bois, though? Of all names?
I don't know why.
Pool Bois, no,
I
that
think
thing
when, when you had him here, I think he said it was from college, you know.
I think he
St. Mary's
gave a story. He gives some
Yeah.
story.
Wow.
Pool Bois.
Mm. So Robert Cauldron, better known as Pool Bois, and he has a nice name, man.
Yeah,
Robert
Yeah,
Cauldron.
Robert Cauldron is a nice
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Kisses.
All right.
Mwah. To
Okay.
you and your wife.
So just a reminder also that the Father's Day prizes that can be collected this Thursday. All right, and come to our studios. Our beautiful hey, would you look at our beautiful Marie, our friend Marie.
Angel without wings.
Yes, she's going to be preparing those cakes nice and fresh. Yeah, so come on Thursday to collect your prizes. We have all of them, I believe, Tony. We have all of them at the studio, right?
Missing a few.
Huh?
All of the
Missing like
prizes?
maybe two. I checked with Emmanuela this morning, and she said she's missing something like 2 of them.
And who's that from?
The auto place, Crown Auto. You told me Monday, today's Wednesday, brother. You know what I mean? We met and everything. Andrew, we met it. Like I spoke with the guy and everything. He said, Monday.
Okay.
Monday gone, Tuesday gone, today Wednesday. Hopefully.
So these are the two that we're missing.
No, she told me, but I can't remember the others.
Mm.
Like maybe 2 more.
Really?
So that's
well,
3 then. You
Yeah,
can't count.
probably.
Okay.
Morning.
Well, when I get off the air, I will deal with that. So
Check
make
with
sure
her,
make
yeah.
sure that the folks get their prizes on Thursday. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the Tomaso bread place today is going to be. Oh, by the way, boy, all her meals sold yesterday.
Boy, Yaslin,
All of them.
bring for me.
Yeah, all of them.
Stop,
Wow.
really, man.
So today she's got some good stuff again. Saltfish, sauteed pigtail, ground
Say that
provisions.
again.
Yes, saltfish, right?
Uh-huh.
Sauteed pigtail.
Salted pigtail.
Yes, sauteed pigtail, ground provisions with tossed salad and cucumber salad with lentils. Yeah. So that's happening at the Tomaso bread place today. So let's just go
So
out
you
there.
have
That's
the
real.
option
I keep
of-
saying,
I want to ask something. Do you have the option of either choosing saltfish or salted pigtail?
yeah, it's your choice. Yeah.
Can you have both? Like, you know what I mean?
It's your choice. What you paid for it? What you paid for it?
The salted pigtail sounds really good. The saltfish too. But, Mommy, you didn't hear me say something about salted pigtail. Yeah.
Mommy probably does not want her to do.
No,
use
the pork thing there. My mother and that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So whatever you're into, it's available. So if you like the saltfish, you like the sauteed pigtail, you like the ground provisions with tossed salad and cucumber salad with lentils, you can have that, which is good
Andre,
food.
go and buy from you.
Good food.
Andre, go and buy from
Well,
you.
I was going out that side yesterday, so that, by the time I got there, all the food was finished already.
No way.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow,
Mhm.
wow.
I'll be on air, so I can't go.
So don't forget, of course, the usual sea moss flavors, including coconut, ginger, peanut, and peanut punch, and regular sea moss with flaxseed and chia seeds. All happening at the Tomaso Bread Place today. So check it out.
The sea moss, which is your favorite?
The peanuts.
The peanut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I actually had one yesterday, and that was cold.
Okay.
That was
Is it
cold.
thick or just right?
It was just right.
Okay.
Just right. Yeah, because that's true. Some people sell the sea moss and it's really
This
thick.
way is ice cream.
You have to hit the bottle to make it come down.
Yes, true.
Okay, so anything you guys want to mention before we move on?
Yesterday, attended this media briefing, if you like, by the Carnival Management Committee.
Oh, yes,
people.
yes. How did that go?
Right. Really, really well.
Okay.
They spoke. I realized you had some of it this morning on the news, and they spoke about Carnival this year, future carnivals, etc., etc. And it seemed they want to make it bigger and better every single year. Police officers will be put in place because there were police officers there. The fire people were there as well. I mean, just really, really nice, man. The event St. Lucia was there, and of course the minister. So a lot was spoken about, and of course the chairperson for the
Carnival Management.
Carnival CPMCC.
Carnival Planning, whatever. I can't remember right now.
Yes, that's right. So they spoke. I mean, it was really, really well done. Really well done. All the information was out there for the media.
That's great.
So,
That's
yes.
great. I actually really love what they're doing and the changes that they've been
Exactly.
of late.
You're right.
Yeah, man. And she always speaks of inclusivity, you know, and that's what I love because over the last, we're actually seeing it happening.
You're right.
And everybody's embracing the changes that they've done.
Right.
So that's amazing too. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So again, they want to make this bigger and better every single year. You know, so that because they advertise it, of course, for the diaspora and the world. You know, come to our carnival. This is it.
This is it.
Nothing sweeter than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was really, really good. I'm so glad that I went there.
That's great.
All right, lovely. Let me ask you something. The politicians sometimes they don't seem to know what they like or they don't like, right?
Oh, really?
When they say it's if you're in opposition and you okay, let's just talk about what's happening right now, the CIP issues and whatever other issues that the opposition usually take on, and they criticize the incumbent. The incumbent is not happy with those things, right? So they respond, or they just do not respond. Or if they do respond, they're very sarcastic in their responses and this sort of thing, right? Now you have the opposition now talking papi show about boloms and so on, that kind of papi show. Yeah, I think that came up at some meeting because I think you've been hearing for a long time. Fellas doing every there's OB involved in politics and this guy. You hear all those things.
So who's the biggest bolom then?
I don't know. By the way, do these things really exist?
You
the
asking
boloms?
me? I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I have no idea.
Okay.
I've never seen one.
Yeah,
So I don't
but do you
know.
believe that they actually exist?
Not really, no.
Okay. Tony, you think those things exist?
No.
Yeah.
People have, let me just add this little piece. People have said, growing up, you hear people saying, a bolom is a little man with a big penis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what, y'all seen the bolom already? Or something? You know? A bolom.
And they never saw it. They never seen it.
Maybe they have.
You know what I
That's
mean?
why do you think that maybe imagination?
Exactly.
So who started it though? Someone had to start it. Someone had to have seen it. Unless if that person was crazy and said, well, you know, I saw a bolom. Gave it that name with a big head and a...
And Keena, if I tell you, Andre probably heard it. If I tell you how they say a bolom is made.
Wow.
A chicken? Andre laughing already, so Andre probably heard about it already.
A chicken.
A hen.
Uh-huh.
When it lay its first egg, and it has to be either Easter Sunday or Good Friday or something like that. It has
So
to
you
be
have to
late.
mark with a hen for the first egg?
Yes.
And
And you take that, but that's not all.
Tell me.
You take that egg and you put it under your arm
No.
for 3-4 weeks. Yeah, you had nonsense. Until you know what I mean?
So you have to wait. You have to mark with the hen
Yes.
for the first egg.
Yes.
After that, you take the egg
Mm-hmm.
and you put the egg where?
Under your arm. Under your armpit.
Yeah.
For how long?
for about 3-4 weeks.
So you're going to be walking around with
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. It's so ridiculous. It is.
Are you
know what I'm
serious?
saying?
That's it?
Yes.
And then what happens?
Well, a bull,
From under the armpit.
Yes, from the egg under the armpit.
So what about the armpit brings the bull, like, what? The heat or something?
Yes.
That's the incubation period.
Exactly. The incubation period.
No,
for the
but
bull.
why can't the hen, just sit on the egg and the bull?
No,
something not making sense there.
It's
exactly.
ridiculous.
Nah, something doesn't
It's
add up.
ridiculous.
Under
Because
your arm? You really?
so let me ask you. So is the bolum what, part human and part animal or something like that?
It would seem so.
No, so if I were to go and watch a egg, watch a hen right now and take the first egg that it lays,
Yes.
place it under.
Remember, it has to be either, like I said, I don't remember if it's Good Friday or Easter Sunday, but it has to be around, the
Just
Easter weekend, one of those days right there.
So what, the person have nothing better to do?
Oh, because they
Like nothing
they want to
whatsoever?
make a bolong.
No, but the bolum to do what
it's important.
exactly?
Good
That's the
question.
thing.
Right.
And the bolum's job is to go steal and the sort of thing.
Whatever
for
you want
the owner.
it to do.
Steal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever you want it to do.
No, well, if that's how easy you make a bolum, then everybody in Senegal should
But that's
be
not
rich
easy.
then.
That's not easy.
Well,
That's difficult.
Exactly.
take a hen thing, put it under your arm, and then
But-
a bolum comes.
No, but it
right?
has to be the
Remember,
first egg.
The first
Exactly.
egg.
First egg, and it has
That
to be
sounds easy,
again
but very-
Good Friday or
And I think the hen has to be black. I think something like
No,
that.
that's another thing again. I think so. Something like that.
So that's the story. That's what we heard.
I don't know.
So anyway, so getting back to what we're talking about there. So now, I think the opposition leader was talking and he brought this thing about the bolom or something like that, and some other thing about some name, and of course now there's a reaction from the Prime Minister, and saying that in other words, there are more important things to talk about than to talk about that kind of foolishness. So I was just saying, I mean, you can't please them, right? If you talk stuff that's supposed to be, that makes sense, right? It's a problem. If you talk papi show now, it's still a problem.
Yeah, but really and truly, we need better discourse from our politicians. Really and truly, them bolum talk or going under the belt talk or who sleep with who and that and that.
So what would you like to hear, Keena? What would you like to hear?
Tell me what you could do for the country. What's different? Tell me what the CIP funds has been
But
doing.
so you mean say every day they have to come tell you what they can do for you?
So no, not every day, but whenever. Give me
they have to
updates or
find
whatever.
something.
No, but okay, maybe the bolum talk is just segueing into other things so we could have fun and laugh and have conversations like we have it now.
No, but you were just saying a while ago that you want them to talk about stuff that you want to hear. So I'm asking you what.
No,
I
but
mean,
we
can they
said
keep imagine the people have a meeting every time they have to talk about all they go about is what
So
they
you
do.
wanted to talk about bolum?
No, I'm asking you.
But I already said it. You still asking me again?
Right, so I'm saying to you, how could you expect them to talk about that every day, every time?
So many things they have to talk about that's affecting the country.
Like, tell us what?
Eh.
Tell us what?
Tell us what.
Yeah, tell us.
We
Let's
have a crime situation.
Yes, they talk about that. They talk
That's
about that.
one.
They talk about that.
They talk about it. What else did they say?
But you, no. You say there's so many things. So let me ask you now, what's the so many things?
Andre, you really doing this right now?
Yes, I am.
You're really doing that right now?
Yes, I am.
We have issues with,
They talk
the
about
visa
crime.
restrictions.
They spoken about that. They spoken about that as well.
Yeah, but then it's what they say.
What did they say?
It's like they started and then they don't finish and they poke jabs at each other. That's what they do.
They don't finish and they poke jabs at each other.
You know what I'm talking about, right? So, okay.
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
Andre Patraisa.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Don't try that.
I mean, don't try
So,
it.
okay, let's just say I'm here right now and we're talking about the crime situation, right? And maybe there's a crime. Crime is everyone's business. It's not one political party's problem. Everyone, right? So it's not the UWPs, it's not the SLP. Why do you have to blame the other party? Like what?
You know the Jamaica Prime Minister.
Like why?
You know the Jamaica Prime Minister. He's making no bones about it. He's taking the credit for the reduction in the number of homicides or / murders for the year. He's saying under their stewardship, right, they were able to do what seems to be impossible. So they're taking credit for it. Now, somebody else might say, "Oh, why are we politicizing crime?" Right? Exactly. Would you say that? Would you say they shouldn't? No. They shouldn't politicize crime.
In some instances, no. They should not. In some instances.
It's a huge tool. that they use.
Yeah, but it's
Massive tool, because this is like the taking of lives and so on. So hey, they've often said it. You keep politicizing crime and so on, but boy, that's a tool that they use because the crime is everybody's business. Keena said it a while ago, and they just figure they have to hit you there.
Yeah. And if we can bring it down.
Right. I head on exactly where I'm going. The former Prime Minister, Alan Michael Chasney, you remember what he said? Kenny, on podium, Kenny could not bring down crime. We will. You understand?
Yeah.
You use that. You use that. You know what I mean? So it's a tool.
So when you say that now, they were if the incumbent loses the election, right then now they use that against you.
Exactly.
Because you said when we were there,
you would have done differently.
Yeah, that's right.
So there you are now. But it's just interesting. I think in the case of Jamaica, I think up to the middle of this month, they had recorded 300 murders/homicides for the year so far, and they said last year they had 200 plus more.
Yes.
Than this year.
That's amazing.
Right. So it's a lot.
Right.
It's a huge reduction.
Right.
Yeah.
So they say that really truly the Jamaica Prime Minister, Mr. Holness, is actually taking credit for it.
Right.
We are doing it.
Right.
And not you.
So
and you have to admit there's a big difference.
There's a big difference. So
but the thing is that how do you know that it's because of your strategies? Could it be maybe just by luck?
Yeah.
You have less. I don't know.
I'm sure they have. They're monitoring the situation, and there are ways that they do to tell. So he could make that statement.
And maybe things put in place, because that's the most important thing to it. Put things in place. Like here, we talk about they give the police more vehicles and more equipment to do their work. That kind of thing. So if you put these things in place and you see the results, then you go like, oh, okay.
I think in Jamaica they have what states of emergency, state of emergency. There's a lot of that.
That's right.
And that takes a lot of guts, to announce a state of emergency, because you're playing with people's freedom.
That's freedom, Andre, and even
freedom
businesses that may want to open a little late and so on.
Yes.
You cut in people's.
Yes. So being a leader, boy, you gotta be tough, boy. Well, sorry, you have to be firm.
Exactly.
Yeah, and take some tough decisions.
Yeah.
And be ready to take some blows as well, poor Jam.
Yeah,
That's true.
That is the thing.
That's true.
So that's what I was saying. If you talk serious talk, right? The incumbent has a problem with that. You talk about Bolon, a problem with that. So what to do, boy? What to do? Well, Keena said talk about the stuff that we want to talk about, right? Like crime. Crime. Okay. Another thing that governments are really dealing with is the issue of debt. Right? Just like you, Tony, like me. Well, maybe not you. maybe not you. Maybe not Keena. But like me, oh yeah, debt everywhere. You understand? Yeah, because there's certain things that you have to do, and you got to take loans and this sort of thing. So it's no different with governments. They take these loans, and sometimes you take a loan, and while you out of office now, you've lost the election, the party that comes in now does not pay off the loan. Either it's done deliberately, Tony, because they figure you're the one that's going to take your loan. Why should we come and pay off loan for you? You know what I mean? You're the one that created that problem in the first place. But to me, Tony, it's better if they pay the loan, because it makes them look good.
That's right.
Yeah, it makes them look good.
Yeah, man.
But anyway,
and even that too is a talking point for the incumbent. They talk about, remember the loans from Martinique and so on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
they talk about they start paying it back.
Yes.
So you look good as well if you pay it off.
Yeah, because sometimes every time you have another administration coming in, they just ignore it. Because especially if maybe Martinique is not putting pressure on us, they just figure, okay, well, we'll do it later. Not that they don't want to do it, but they figure, okay, we'll do it because we have other things that we are grappling with. So debt is a very, very serious thing. Now, there's some good debt, Tony, Keena, meaning you take a loan and you invest it. Right? Now, even that sometimes now doesn't pan out the way you'd like it to be. And there's also debt now that comes from just normal development, right? You have to build a bridge, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's just inevitable, and you got to take loans to do it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, Tony and Keena, if you listen to this thing, Gaston Brown, he's now asking for to restructure the country's debt portfolio, right? And that means the portfolio means debt all over here, there, everywhere. So they want to restructure, and they owe banks, they owe governments, right? Because governments borrow from governments. Like for example, in the case of Antigua, they I think loaned money from Brazil, money from Venezuela, so they owe all these monies. And Gaston Brown was saying something very interesting. This is important, right? He's saying that in the 1980s they took a loan of $5 million, right? They took that from Brazil in the 1980s.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
No wonder I got work.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So this is very interesting. In the 1980s, they took a loan for $5 million from the Brazilian government, and apparently nobody repaid it. So you're talking about interest being accumulated and penalties as well, right?
That's
Interest and penalties. So that $5 million, Tony and Keena, has ballooned to $44 million. From $5 million to $44 million interest and penalties.
That's right.
Yes. So
this is the thing. If you're not taking
and there's so many of them, Tony. There's so many. He spoke of another $500 million loan again from the Petro Caribbean Initiative. Remember that when they were getting oil and gas at cheaper. Even that they didn't repay.
What?
Even that they didn't repay.
I was trying to remember the Petro Caribbean. In fact, just yesterday or the day before, I was trying to remember, Andre. That's Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And especially the government not giving you pressure. To repay it. But you have the interest there accumulating. Boy.
Did we ever go? That's the part I was trying to remember. Did we ever go into it with Petro Caribbean?
Yes, of course we were. Yeah. For sure. Totally. We took advantage of that.
Okay.
Because I think the interest rate was really low.
Yeah.
The arrangement, so I think you don't pay right away. You have how many years to repay, things like that.
Yes, it was a real good deal.
Yeah, you get a good break. It's almost like, for example, when you go to courts, for example, and you take a loan or you take out an appliance from courts. Court says to you, well, you have until January to pay. Right?
Yes.
And you take the appliance in October.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
So you figure, hey, I good.
Yeah.
But boy,
the interest after that.
Well, no, you don't pay any interest.
Right.
Just that at the end of the day, you still have to start paying the loan now.
Have to pay.
Right? And sometimes between October and January, other things come up, other things happen, and put you in other debts.
Yeah.
So, boy, there's a serious lesson in that for all of us. So now Gaston Brown, and I remember he was the first person I heard saying about the CIP monies were being used to service debts. I remember him saying that. Yeah, he was the first person I heard say that they actually used the CIP money to do that. But I suspect maybe CIP can catch up with this thing. Yeah. And although they say they have the gold standard for CIP, yeah, in other words, we got it down pat. So if anybody wants to have a good CIP program, just follow us.
Yeah, Antigua.
Yeah, Antigua. Yeah. So what they want to do now is to ask the Venezuelan and Brazilian governments now to forgive them of the interest and the penalties. So that'll take it down.
And penalties will.
Yes.
Yeah,
So in other words, give us a little break. Our government, they do that. Income tax, you didn't pay your income tax, your house and land taxes, things like that. So you've accrued interest and penalties over the years. Right. So the government now, I think there's an amnesty on.
Yeah.
You can pay whatever it is you owe, but without the interest. So they do that all the time. They do that all the time. But also, I mean, governments get the opportunity to do that. They're in a position to do it. But ordinary Joe Blows, like me, Tony, and others, you don't have that privilege,
Explain.
To ask for like to go to the bank
okay.
and say to write off the interest.
No, you don't have.
Write off the interest, write off the penalties. It ain't happening,
Yeah.
You don't have that privilege.
They may give you a little more time.
Yeah.
But you have to pay it
Depending
anyway.
on the situation that you're in, they might give you a little more time.
Yeah, a little more time, and that's it. Yeah, and even then, I remember during COVID that the banks had a moratorium. and Tony, that word is so nice.
What?
Moratorium.
Did that really work for a lot of people?
We'll get to that in a second. But let me just say the word. Moratorium. That sounds so sexy, right?
What?
That sounds so sexy. So when the moratorium was offered, especially during COVID, I mean, COVID, you took salary cuts and things like that. So very few people would have been able to meet the payments and so on, knowing your salaries cut and everything. So most people, took the moratorium. Including me.
Yours truly.
Including me.
Me too.
I take the moratorium.
That didn't turn out well, did it? It did not.
Nah,
I'm
it
sure
felt
did.
nice, It felt nice.
That felt so
It felt like you could breathe.
What?
Yeah, because mortgage ain't nice, you know. Mortgage ain't nice. I think that's the biggest debt for most people.
Yeah,
the mortgage. And that's another beautiful word, you know. Let me say.
Oh yeah,
mortgage.
I always wondered, I'm glad you go in there. I always wondered why they call it mortgage.
Yeah, that's just the word.
I'll mortgage my house.
No, the more you take, it builds on age.
Mortgage.
That's a good one.
Mortgage.
That's a good one, Keena. That's a good one, Keena. So yeah, man. So I remember certain fellas saying they wouldn't take it.
What?
Yeah, they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't. I remember that well. So, but it was not seriously. Then you really see how this thing is like a chin around your neck.
That's what I want. That's what I
because
wanted
it was
to point out,
like I could breathe. I could breathe now. I could breathe.
No, the listeners didn't just, they heard it, but they didn't get to see Andre feeling his chest. Oh my gosh, they missed it. The listeners heard the sound, but they didn't get to see it. Those viewing online on DBS or...
And in particular, where it came from.
So, by the way, how long was it? How long?
I'm remembering 6 months.
What, 6 months?
And to me, there was another, if you wanted to extend it or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm remembering 6 months.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, they offered you either 3 months, 6 months, or maybe, I think, an extension of it or something like that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But you got a little break. So we took the
welcome break.
Yeah, but hear that. The thing is that the interest doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't.
That's right.
And that's what they didn't say.
Interest doesn't stop.
They didn't tell you that. They made it sound so good, like it was the best thing, like sliced bread, and you're like, yes, I'm gonna take that thing, boy.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
You know, when you're going through difficulty and something good comes, right? You take it, right? And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
So, as I said a while ago, the governments can go and ask for, write-off on this kind of thing. We don't have that privilege, boy. All you get is a moratorium. That's all you get. That's all you get. Yes,
Oh boy.
Yes, so I'm sure. I mean, even the mighty United States is dealing with debt as well. If I'm not mistaken, what 26 trillion dollars in debt. It's crazy. It's crazy. But when you're rich and powerful, I guess they know how to manage this sort of thing. I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem as though it's bothering them at all. Because when you hear the number of millionaires made in every single day in the U.S.
for 2024.
Yeah,
That is
what? Every single day,
yes,
a whole ton of millionaires. So you know that economy, man, that is knocking. Anyway, Jamaica is taking a petition to Britain's King Charles III on the issue of reparations for slavery. Yeah, so they want to demand reparations from the United Kingdom for the enslavement of our African ancestors. Right, they're taking that to another phase because it's a lot of money. It's a lot. I mean, I don't remember the figure, but it's almost like in the trillions of dollars.
Yeah, it is.
It is crazy. And I'm asking myself, I mean, when you hear the British government, what they're going through, because they themselves are having issues, and to come and pay these kinds of reparations, boy, I don't know. I mean, will we ever get, that sort of
Jamaica and backing
compensation?
down,
I have always thought about that, and I keep telling myself, unfortunately, I have to say that now on the radio, I don't think we will ever get sent one. it's my negativity about the whole thing. We can beg, plead, you know what I mean? Andrea, I just don't see it. But that's me.
That conversation around reparations has been happening for so long, you know, and I'm happy that Jamaica is still pounding and still going strong on it. Hopefully sometime we might get something.
So maybe, like Andrea always say,
Hopefully sometime.
if you keep at it,
you keep
yeah. bringing it up, and you keep showing it's a problem. Perhaps they might say, well, okay, hold that for now. We'll try to do it in installments and so on.
But the British
that just may
Empire,
happen.
you know, benefited massively from, you know, for centuries.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so they should pay. I'm just saying.
Boy.
They should pay.
Yeah, but it's true because they have settled.
They grew fortunes. They built institutions on us pretty much. So they should pay. Yeah. But I don't know when it's going to happen.
That's the thing.
thing.
I'm agreeing. I'm definitely agreeing with that. The reparations. It's just that I just don't see it.
There's an interesting story in the Bible, again, for those who believe, because there's no proof that ever happened. After the Israelites came out of slavery, I think after 400 years or something, 400 plus years, 430 years, the Bible tells you that God made the people, the Egyptians, right, caused the people to plunder them, right? Meaning they gave them a lot of money, their gold and everything. They just they paid them off, almost like the reparations, kind of similar to reparations. So I think reparations are definitely in order because you are abusing people, you're taking advantage of them, and I mean 430 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time, man.
And I think the same would apply for black people as well, right? I remember all the songs about 400 years. You know, we were enslaved, our ancestors.
In other words, pretty much our pain has value.
Yeah, imagine that. And think of the number of people who jumped overboard. They knew what they were going to face, so they couldn't deal with it. So they just jumped overboard and figured, let me just take my life instead of going through this sort of thing. But the question is, if all the black people had to do that, what would it be today?
Yeah, no hair.
Emancipation Day is coming up.
Oh yeah, August the 1st.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. One nation more powerful than the other, and basically taking advantage. And by the way, we have that happening today, huh?
Yeah, we still do.
We have it happening today.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is happening.
So maybe in another 400 years, if the world is still around, you have the Palestinians now who'll be asking for reparations
As they should.
There you go.
for all what they went through.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know the sad thing about all of that, the Israelites. I mean, they went for a rough time in Germany. You remember what happened to them? That they went to camps and so on.
Yeah.
I think how many? 6 million Jews were killed. I mean, mercilessly, right? You'd figure that a nation like that would understand what it's like to go through this sort of thing and not do that to somebody else.
Especially going through your history. You go over your history, you'll see that is what happened with you.
Yeah.
But again,
the Adolf Hitler time, right?
we could go back to as well trauma. What trauma does to individuals. It's like, I've gone through it. Yeah, I feel the pain. I know what it's like. So I might as just do the same thing to someone else.
So you're saying that that it's not abnormal for somebody to behave like that,
You
right?
hear instances of that happening, so maybe that's what's happening too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think that they would have some sense and be like, I have gone through it, so no, I'm not going to. But
Yeah, because remember they were saying who feels it knows it.
yeah,
So if you've been through that sort of
in
thing,
some instances it works.
yeah, to go now and perpetrate that on somebody else. It's just that, I mean, now they will say it's kind of different. We didn't put people in ovens like what was done to us and this sort of thing. But I mean, what they're doing in Gaza, in Gaza there, it's
still inhumane. People are still.
Yeah, these are war crimes, and that can never be forgotten. I mean, children whose lives has been upended, tormented. They I mean, imagine children having to see that kind of violence on a daily basis in their lives. Losing families. And right now you have a situation where some children have actually lost their parents and they just on their own. I'm telling you things that I've read, that the kids are actually on their own. So you have other people now, I guess, taking them in and try to assist as much as they can because they lost their family. Now the guys who were involved in Hamas, there's a leader of Hamas. This guy, they killed him, the Israelites killed him in Iran. he was there. This guy, I heard him in an interview, said he lost close to 80 members of his family, including his sons and his grandsons. And, you know, he was saying that that's not going to break his resolve no matter what. Yeah, imagine to lose so many members of your family, because Israel just kept targeting him. You know, so I can't get you, I'll take the next best thing.
No way.
Yeah. His 2 grandsons were killed in Gaza. I think last year that happened.
I remember that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, two of his grandsons. So 80 or close to 80 members of your family just wiping you out. Yeah, all because of land. Yeah, land that I don't want to give up. Okay, the issue of motorcycle crashes and so on. This is a problem, not just in St. Lucia, in the Caribbean, right? It is a real problem. And there's a symposium that's taking place in Jamaica, and they were talking about, you know, why is it that so many people are riding motorcycles without a crash helmet, right? And you see it now where you have the rider, and then you have the pillion rider. They're not wearing a crash helmet. So they're studying this thing and asking why. And they said one of the reasons for that is that why people shun helmets is because vanity is one of them. Yeah, vanity and discomfort.
The discomfort I understand.
Yeah.
Discomfort I understand.
Yeah.
I've won a crash helmet already.
When you had your
It's
bike,
true.
you had a helmet?
No, I
And you
didn't.
had a
So
bike.
when did you wear the crash helmet?
That was much later. Yeah, I'm just curious to know what it feels like.
And you just put it on. That was it?
Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable at all. It was
Yeah,
hot.
so it could be.
Hot
Yeah.
and heavy and this sort of thing.
Okay.
So I think I understand where they're coming from. It's like a chore. Like, oh my God, I'm taking a lime tonight, you know, and I have to put this thing on. Sometimes I imagine when you, especially if you use it very, very often, you probably sweat in this thing, right? So you have to deal with your own sweat. Yeah.
You're right. You know, I've seen it, Andre. The cricketers, you know,
Yes.
because they use one.
Yes.
They use, yeah.
And you see sometimes
The
they squeeze it, and you see sweat actually falling from the helmet. Imagine that. So I understand that, but it is so necessary. And me bringing up cricket as an example, Andre and Keena, is because sometimes these guys bowl real fast. The ball is hard, and the ball hit the helmet and dent it. Andre, imagine when they were not wearing helmets. You know how many people who have gotten the little concussions and so on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing about the vanity, I didn't quite get that one, you know, because I think vanity has a couple of meanings,
Right.
and one of them has to do with maybe pride. But I'm trying to understand, where's the pride come in that
Right.
in of the helmet, or where does pride coming into it?
Yeah.
Is that you're too proudful to wear a helmet? Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Just having a bike, owning a bike, and being on a bike, you know, it's I guess what that individual was referring to. I want everybody to see who I am.
So
It's cool.
So if I wear the helmet now, they can't see me.
They can't see me.
Oh, okay, I get
it's
you.
a cool thing, pretty much.
I get you.
Maybe that's what she was referring to.
But she said that the message is, let me read it there, this is a journey of advocacy and action. The strategy is simple. Safe helmets on heads, every ride, every time. That's the theme.
And I have to agree. Yeah, I totally
Sorry.
agree.
You got because Andre, the thing saves lives.
It does.
Because
does.
you see, the accidents are so bad when it comes to motorcycle accidents. You know, crashing into other vehicles and so on, and most times your head get all the blows. That's where everything, is. That's what keeps you.
Yep.
Okay, I know the heart keeps you alive, but Andre, the
keeps you
head,
sane.
You know what I'm saying?
Another thing that came up at the symposium is that they say that people say, oh, it's just a short ride, so I don't need to wear a helmet.
It's the same thing that happens when people go behind the wheel as well. I'm just going from here to there. I don't have to wear my
Seat
seatbelt.
belt.
I don't have to buckle up.
Right.
Yes.
You
But
know?
there's always the other driver,
Yes.
the other person, right? And remember, I think people tell you, if you want to be a good driver, always think that the other driver is an ass.
Good one.
Yeah.
You just
It's
never
true.
know.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because they just do some crazy things.
That's right.
Yes.
Unexpected things.
And not only that as well, sometimes road conditions, it might be a short distance that you're going, but there might be a pebble on the road.
Yes.
There might be oil on the road from another vehicle or something. Anything is possible.
Yes, true.
So you just never know. Just
Yeah.
always be safe.
Tony, I think there's some cricket match on, right?
Yes.
I think Weatherman was telling me about that. So maybe you can give us a little update. What's happening as far as that is concerned? Is it a test
Australia?
match or something?
Yes, Australia is touring the West Indies. Is or are touring the West Indies? Andrew, that's the thing. Let me tell you.
It's a little challenging sometimes.
You know what I'm
is
saying?
it the police are or the police is?
Right. And I realize once you're referring to a group, a team, that kind of thing, you say like even a club. Like I would say Manchester United are a club, so and so and so. You know, I'm like, wow, okay. So I kind of learned that.
And there's also the subject predicate as well.
Yes.
Because what is the subject?
My favorite.
What's the subject? So that complicates it as well. Yeah, because sometimes they say the police are, the police is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
so they're touring the West Indies. They start with the test matches. Gosh, that's for another show. I want to just say, Andrew, for me, Test cricket is dead. But England and India are playing in England, and the thing is well attended. But that's for me English. But for me, West Indies, as they say, Calypso cricket we're playing. But like I said, that's for another show. So the first update, Australia won the toss and they elected to bat first. They are presently 2 runs. That's earlier. Australia 8 runs for 1 wicket. Okay, Shamar Joseph is the wicket taker. Shamar Joseph is a fast bowler, of course. 1 drop catch off the bowling of Shamar Joseph, dropped by Brandon King. Update latest, Australia 17 runs for 2 wickets. Hey, we're not doing too bad, at least for now. Both wickets going down to Shamar Joseph, 2 wickets for 12 runs in 5 overs so far. Again, you mentioned it, Andre. That's from the Weatherman, who played cricket, still loves cricket. And he decided to keep us updated at Rev-Up. That's our boy, Andre.
While
This boy have a love affair with us.
Tony, what do you think about Keena Roach not being part of the West Indies squad moving forward?
To me, Ola. Keena Roach.
I don't know.
Been around
That
for a bit.
announcement was made just recently.
Really?
So yeah.
I think I read that, and I did not have an opinion on it. But since you asked now, I'm thinking he has probably deteriorated a little bit over the years. I'll tell you why I'm saying that, because in all the cricket that's taking place, you don't hear much about Keena Roach being on any side and doing well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you think that's a good decision made by the director of West Indies cricket?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, for now, he has to, in domestic cricket, maybe do really, really well. That's where you get selected, and I'm thinking that right now he's just not doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just one final thing. I suspect you may be talking about that later. Sean Diddy Combs should know his fate by this Thursday.
Yes.
That's Andrew, his fate meaning,
man.
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. If he's convicted, life in
prison.
That's Andrew, I thought about it when you did the story and everything. I'm like, look at that. From being up there, you have it all. And now to be nothing, put away. And basically, now that's another question. I was going to say, basically lose everything that you've sort of worked hard for, however you get your, your right? And what happens with his business and so on, or businesses?
His mom.
Mom? Just take over a kind of thing.
Most of them, I think his mom was already dealing with a lot of them. Because even when Cassie came out and there was an allegation against him, we were told that she's the one handling most of his businesses. Yeah.
Okay.
So most likely his mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully she she has help as well. Maybe siblings. I don't know if he has brothers, sisters, whoever.
I'm sure he does.
Or close
relatives.
Your people that you trust and so on to help her with the business.
Yeah. And sometimes those who take over now,
licks.
You end up losing everything. Because they don't have the passion for it.
Exactly.
But you know what's interesting? I was having this discussion with my brother just last night, right? The founder of Abercrombie and Finch.
What's that?
A clothing line.
Okay.
Right? He was arrested for sex trafficking and so on just about 2 years ago. And the judge came out and said, you know what? He's not going to, because he's so old and his faculties are not in place, they might just get a write off it. Like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, okay, you're now 80, you were charged for sex trafficking for a number of years, and nothing is going to happen to you. So you're just at an institution and you'll just die eventually. And some, I'm like, Bill Cosby went through that, and some other people went through it. But what was different for him was that, you know what, he got so old and he can't really face anything. He doesn't have his faculties in place. So going to court would mean nothing. He wouldn't understand anything happening there. So just had to leave it alone.
Okay.
Sometimes
So-
they're ill as well. That happens as
Yeah.
well. That happens too, where somebody's too ill to stand trial.
I'm surprised
things
he
like
didn't pull the crazy card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he did. Because while you were saying it, I'm thinking, okay, he's
That's
just
what he-
playing, he's just
nah.
playing like, you know what I mean?
But anyway, his the defense is saying that all these acts, the freak-offs, basically that's the argument that these were consensual things that took place. Okay?
The defense wasn't there when it was happening. Huh?
Diddy, we're
But
talking
they
about
would
Diddy.
have
Yeah,
to,
Diddy,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
but they would have to, you know, prove that they were consensual.
Well, you
However-
can see how people are behaving in the video. That's what he's
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, they're not fighting anything. They're cooperating. So that's what you're using now to convict the guy. You don't have much of a case because the people were consenting adults.
No, but yes, they were consenting adults, but some of the consenting adults also said that there were threats
Drugged.
made against their lives and they were
Drugged.
drugged as well.
Well, once they can prove that, then
Well-
yeah. In fact, to be honest with you, I haven't really followed the case, so I'm not even sure whether that came, these things came up and whether proof was actually.
They did
Because-
have proof of it in text messages or voice notes that he did send.
Yeah, right. That's right.
There were a few of them,
Yeah.
and Cassie's mother did testify as well, and there was proof there as well when she testified. My thing is, something that happens in someone's bedroom. Some of what I was said that was put out there, I was like, huh? Why is that making it in court? Because it's still consenting adults in some aspects of it. So, and Cassie did say that at the start of it, she wanted to please him. You know, this is something that he wanted to do, so she went in on it, and eventually at some point in time it just got freakier and freakier, and then she wanted out. But then obviously
Couldn't get out.
you couldn't get in on it, and sometimes she actually said during testimony that there were times where she did it because she wanted it. That when she was married to her husband, she left her husband and she actually went to Didi for a freak off.
Oh, I missed because I was looking at something else. Who did that?
Cassie.
So she was
Cassie
married
Ventura.
before Diddy.
No, she was married after.
So I missed your point then.
So there was a time while during her marriage to, I can't remember, the personal trainer that Diddy hired for her. So the guy she married is actually a personal trainer that P. Diddy, Sean Combs,
Yes.
hired for her.
Right.
So they got married. At one point in time, she left her husband and went to Diddy for a freak off, and her husband called on video call during that freak off. So there's so many things that was said, and sometimes it's shocking. It's like, okay, there you are. I understand so many things are happening. I'm not beating Cassie here because I'm not quite sure what mind frame she was in, but it's confusing to me because you didn't want to be part of the freak offs, and then okay, you finally get out of it, and I guess maybe that's trauma, or I'm looking for the word, but I can't really find it. That even after having gone through all of that, you're now out of the situation completely. You're married. And you now leave your husband to go back to Diddy for a freak off, and your husband calls you and he's on video call during a freak off.
Let me just say this. The
That
little
for
piece,
me was shocking, that part.
the little piece that I'm missing. Are we talking about after the video and he kicked her and all of that, and then she left him?
Yeah, that's
got
after
the money,
all of
got
that.
the monies and everything.
No,
She
the monies came after,
after.
all of that
Okay,
stuff.
forget the money.
So it's after the kicking and everything. Yeah.
She left him
She left him. She's
and went
married.
to get married to
Yes.
his physical trainer, whatever he said he
Yeah.
is.
There was one
She
point
went back.
to a freak off. Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
she
There?
said that in court.
Wow.
Could be the trauma, as you said there. Could
Trauma,
be trauma.
I think.
Who knows?
Yeah, and
Who
maybe
knows?
threats as well was made. So I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, well, boy, let's wish him all the best. But you're right.
Wish him all the
I think the
best.
case was just, well, not, I shouldn't say just, mainly about these text messages and the videos and so on. That's the prosecution's case against him. That's all the evidence that they have against him.
And he also had pills, like in the shape of Obama's face.
Obama's face.
Yeah, former president. Yeah, man.
He's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm
did.
saying?
There's a lot that came out
Yes.
during, there's a
Yeah,
lot
but
that
nobody,
they have.
Tony, I mean, you can be a freak, right? But you must not force people into your
Into your
freakness.
Exactly.
freakiness.
Yeah, so
You
that's the
know,
problem.
I agree.
This,
Mhm.
yeah.
He did a lot.
And I like the man music, and
Tony Iman.
I mean,
Yeah.
man, tremendously talented. Yeah.
Very, very talented.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
Producer, rapper, everything. What?
I hope, and imagine, I think you were saying so yesterday, Keena, that the defense didn't even call witnesses
They
or
didn't
anything
call
like that.
witnesses at all.
Yeah.
And he didn't testify either.
Yeah,
That-
their closing arguments. Imagine they said closing arguments for the defense, about 20 minutes. That
20
was it.
minutes, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Normally, defense people take an hour, 2 hours there
Yeah.
talking to the jury and so on. Boy, so I don't know what that means. Maybe they're so confident that there's no case there against Diddy. Maybe. Let's see what happens.
I don't see it. Maybe he will appeal after his conviction. But I don't see. I think he's going to do life.
Yeah, well, I don't know. If they're sentencing him, maybe the judge might use his or her discretion, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, give him a
That's
lighter
true.
sentence, maybe.
Did R. Kelly get any lighter sentence?
No, they didn't play-
he
didn't play with
They
him.
didn't play with
They
R.
didn't play
Kelly,
with
so
him.
I'm sure that same will happen with Diddy.
Am I just quickly, Andre? Am I hearing? Because of course, back in the day, I mean, I read about it and everything. R. Kelly is serving a sentence right now.
Mm-hmm.
Two.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
30 years? I
30
think
years
30 years
and
and
20.
20, yeah.
I swear there was something words to the effect that after that, there's-
Yeah, man.
Another state now.
Another state.
Mhm.
He's currently in Minnesota, is he? I think. So after he's done his sentence there, he moves on to another state.
Unbelievable. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking your business to another state.
yeah.
Yeah, boy. Because you know how it is in America already. Each state have their own laws
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah, boy.
You should have
that's-
thought about that first, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
coming
you
out of
when you
it.
see you on a high there,
Hey,
you're on a high.
you ain't
You're
thinking-
doing well.
Yeah,
You're doing well,
yeah,
boy. It's a
thinking,
scary place to be.
It's a scary place.
A scary place to be. Yeah.
You know, we're hoping that I'm hoping that this could be a lesson to others. You know, would-be's who would like to, go or who would go into these things. Let that be a lesson to them.
But apparently not.
It seems so.
Because time and time again, you
It's just
hear of
hearing.
instances like that.
Right.
You see the downfall. You look at the court cases. It's been shared time and time over, and then then you know what? Maybe they were doing it before, and it catches up like
Mhm.
everything else.
North Carolina. That's
Oh,
where it is.
thanks
Yeah.
So
for
it's
that.
North Carolina.
North
Mhm.
Carolina. And where would he move to after?
I'm not sure which other state, but of course he has to stand trial there as well.
Yes.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I
And
don't
you
know.
remember the strong man from what was that? What is his name again? Noriega.
Mhm.
Right.
Manuel
When this
Noriega.
guy finished serving his sentence, wherever he was.
Panama.
Right.
back
In the
day.
US, he had to go to
Yes,
France
yes,
to serve time there, and that's where he died.
Yeah.
Boy, this thing, boy, when you see you on top there, boy, things are looking good.
Yeah, I remember how they used to refer to him, man. Noriega's strongman, something like
Yeah,
that, right?
strongman,
Yeah,
strongman.
Noriega's strongman.
He used to have a sword. He used to,
Panamanian.
he used
Manuel
to flail the
Noriega.
sword in the air like that, That thing was shining, boy.
Power.
America come there and go grab me, too.
Imagine that. Power.
Anyway, so let's get into shout outs, huh?
Yes.
You want to go with the Facebook platform?
Facebook? Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Usually it's longer.
All right. Sharon, good morning to you. Sharon says, okay, it's hump day.
Hump
Good
day.
morning.
Hump day. Morning, Sharon.
Sharon, hump day. Love her hump day. Pious Snappy, yeah, man, says, good morning. And he says, rev up. That's Pious again. Moving right along, Sharon says, good morning to John Flavian. Hi, John. Sharon is sending love to you. Nadia Gabriel says, bonjour tout le monde. No, Nadia, you're pushing it, eh? How am I supposed to remember, understand the rest? But I'll try. Sava, Rev-Up. Okay. Sava, yeah. Sava, Rev-Up family, blessings. All right, so that's Nadia Gabriel. Got it, Nadia. Sharon also sending good morning to JP as well. That's JP Mihal in Martinique. Good morning. She's also sending greetings to Floral Studios. She says, good morning, Floral Studios. Barbara Xavier checked in and said, good morning to all of you. Have a lovely, lovely day. Blessed love. Thank you, Barbara Xavier. Wested Duet. Here we go. A very pleasant good morning to the hosts and wonderful Keena. That's from Wested Duet. John Flavian came and said, good morning all. Carmen Salapangs. Carmen says, bonjour, les familles. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
She's from the Philippines, and you just give me some French.
Maybe it's Spanish. because it spells Famille. So maybe it's not famille, it's however they say it
All right.
You're right. So it's strange enough. It's the bonjour is bonjour and bonjour. Strange enough. So bonjour la famille. Let's leave it at that.
That's right.
Right. Rev-Up Matni Saint Lucie. Hola. Carmen. A little French you train in there, man. Carmen Bolvesi. The hola is Spanish. Right. Hermanos Paul. What's Hermanos? It's Carmen. You're killing us there this morning. Tambien. A la bien. Dama. Carmen, I can't do that. Arriba. That's the last part I understand. Arriba.
No, that's Spanish.
Exactly. Lucita Chapier says, good morning, Andre, and the beautiful Keena. Jerome Bordeaux. And they, she joined into it. Bonjour, and they, Jerome. Lucita, uka kwaze mwe. West Duet came right back and says, we are gregarious animals. We have to socialize. Yeah. West Duet, what gregarious mean? Lucita Chapier says, good morning, everyone on the live and Radio Garden. Share the link. Feeling hot in Brooklyn. I understand. There's a heat wave, boy. Yeah. All right. Carmen Salapang. Okay, she says, happy. Well, wait a second. Was that Carmen who I was trying to read? Yes, Carmen herself. All right. So she came right back and she says this. Happy listening to Henry's Bake Shop, especially to Luther the baker and his beautiful sister Bev and mom Dorothy. Keep safe, everyone. She writes so well in English.
Oh, nice.
Imagine that. All right, so thank you, Carmen Salapang. Joan Challery says, good morning, Andre and Tony and Keena and everyone listening with all the emojis of kisses. Wested Duet came on again and says, Andre, everything doesn't work for everyone. What may work in a marriage relationship for John may not work for Perry. Right. Okay. Josiane Alexander put a whole bunch of emojis with laughter. So she died, whatever it is that she was dying on. Nancy Graceland says, Tony, welcome back. You were really running errands yesterday, or did you wet the gorge on Monday night and Tuesday you couldn't wake up? Yeah,
I suspect someone is going to do a song, Wet the Gorge.
Wet the gorge. It's about time. Maybe I should do it. Wet the gorge. Yeah, man. So, no. Well, you heard me this morning talking about what it is the assignment was, and I am glad Andrew and Keena mentioned it. He's on assignment. Josiane Alexander Larcher says, I agree with TP. Wested Duet says, but communication is key to a happy marriage. That's for sure. The enemy may sometimes try to interfere, but God is going to raise up a standard. Wested Duet. Christine St. Romain says, bon Andre, you bought your HTS radio days back.
Oh?
That's me threatening to walk off.
Oh, yes, that's right. Wested Duet says, boy, Andre is a character. Andre,
right.
Believe me, it was funny. We that's why Keena and myself couldn't stop laughing. Just remembering it, I'm passing out. That's the way you reacted to it all. Wested Duet says, Keena, I have been together with the wife for 33 years, married 27 of those years. Miss, yeah?
Oh, wow. Wested Duet, do tell us the secret.
Wow.
On another show.
Okay.
Congratulations, too.
Definitely. Nancy Graceland, Andre, I understand you, and you are right. People are indeed entitled to their opinion, and everyone should respect that. That's a problem I have noticed with a lot of people now. They want your opinion to align with theirs or else problems.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That Nancy Grizzly?
That's true.
No. Yes, Nancy.
Nancy comes at us all the time. Morning, Nancy.
Yeah, because you're like something, you think other person's supposed to like it too.
Look who's talking.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. Because
I hope when the tables turn, you say the same thing. Anyways, moving on.
No, but it's true. It's true. We
will be there to remind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I would love that.
Oh,
I would love that. I would love that. Because it's really, really true. Right? You all need to respect people's feelings and sorry, not the feelings. Opinion.
Opinion.
Yeah, that's
Knock on wood.
That's your opinion.
I have to agree.
Okay? So, no, you don't have to agree. You have to respect it, and don't cause somebody to stop something because you want it stopped. That's not right. That's a dictatorship or something. You know,
we'll remind you.
Yeah, and one of these days I'll have a good laugh at your expense. I hope you can take it.
You do it all the time.
You
do it all the time.
Me do it all the time? Never.
You know, Tony's on my right.
You're the one who always dies laughing. One of these good days, one of these good days, I hope you can take it. See that? All right.
Why are you coming at me?
Okay. Because you like that. You like that. Green. That's right. So one of these days now, I'll have a laugh at your expense. And I hope you can take it. Yeah, go ahead. Laugh now. I promise you that.
That's a threat.
Yes. I promise you that. I'm going to have a laugh until I'll hold my belly. Once I get the opportunity, let's see how you handle that one. Let's see how you handle that.
Tony, defend me.
Yeah.
There's
no defense there. No defense.
How is me? Yeah. How is me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy it today. That's right.
I laugh just the same. If you're laughing at me, I'm gonna laugh too. I'm gonna join.
No, you wouldn't like it.
Nah, I will.
I can promise you that.
Anybody that knows me know I laugh at everything.
Really?
Yeah, man. Ask my mom. They'll tell you. Let's go.
We shall see.
All right.
Let's go.
Carry on.
Sylvester Bissett, the weatherman, he says, ha. You're all making Andre mad. But let's move on, Andre. You know how Tony and Keena like LOL. Meaning how we enjoy a laugh.
Continue.
West Idwet. Mommy is a great chef, Keena.
Oh, yeah, she is. Thank you so much for saying so.
Josiane came right back. Imagine that, Josiane chiming in on Facebook. That's sweet.
Oh, what did she say?
She says, nonsense all the way. Nancy Grayston, poor job, Keena. Did you grow up in Soufrière or in the United States? Because you very... Andre, you didn't have to wait too long.
Look, she got it. Good one.
What's up? Can you read that again? I don't think she heard it. I don't think she heard it.
Read it, Tony. Read it.
Let me hear that, Tony. Let's hear it.
That's not even all.
Hey, there's more. Let's go. Let me make room. Let me make room. Go ahead, Tony. Take that one, Keena. Take it.
Poor job, Keena. Did you grow up in Soufrière or the United States? Because you seem very clueless about folk tales, patois phrases, etc.
Nothing.
Poor job.
Nothing. She ain't no jack. She can't speak Creole. She you don't know no phrases, nothing.
I can't speak Creole. I have tried. Who said so?
You didn't have to wait too long.
Just that. Just that in your skin.
I love how the person said so now. Oh my gosh, my belly hurting me. Oh my god.
Today, when you see we leave the studio, she'll be here by herself. You'll see the mood.
No,
You'll see the mood.
No, but that one was really funny.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
I'm really
funny.
Time is against us, you know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
But sister, wait a minute, I can't laugh again.
That was funny. Now, straight, gut busting, all of that, but behind it,
A Soufrière, no nothing. No Creole, no tortoise, you know what tortoise, nothing.
What does that have to do with Soufrière? Leave Soufrière out of your thing, please.
No,
but what
they say you're not from Soufrière.
No, wait a minute. Where someone grows up has nothing to do with whether they're able to.
Take your
whether
jokes.
they're able to. No,
respect
I am.
the person's opinion. Respect the person's opinion.
No, but y'all put in Soufrière in your thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's Soufrière.
Yeah, because you're boasting about you come from Soufrière. You can't speak Creole. You know about Bolon.
As if you knew about Bolon. I don't understand.
I'm from the city.
Patrick, oh my god, I can't laugh anymore. My hair is hurting me.
I'll be there every day.
Oh, I need a breather. Tony, carry on, kids, right now. I need to breathe. I can't.
Nancy, you see what you caused? Yes, yeah. I keep saying it. We got the best listeners
I know, right?
in the whole world. Let me tell you,
He said that, like a little, back in the day when you did somebody something and somebody come like I'm gonna beat you. Yeah, your backside and your tail. Look,
take that.
Mommy beat
Take
you.
that. Take that. You think Lucia's playing? You come in every day. You know about Bolom. You know about a tortoise. You never saw a tortoise in your life. Yeah, you can speak Creole.
Listen, I never see something like
I never see something
Who
like
said I
that.
can't speak Creole?
You can. You can.
There's certain phrases I don't know. But if somebody want to say something, I think when my mother speaks, I understand. I just don't say anything.
You see, you hear again? You hear again? You hear that again? You hear that again?
Let's go. Let's continue on.
Okay.
Hey, I can't laugh anymore.
Nancy, yeah, good one, Nancy. All right, Arthur Charles even checking in as well.
What is it?
He says, Andre, stop that. If there is a bolom, it is you, because you like plenty of meat. Andre, that's another thing again that they say. You have to, hey, Keena. You see, Arthur, thanks for that. Why?
Hey,
what's the feedback? Huh?
Keena, they tell you that you're disturbing their colleagues with your laugh. Yeah, this is from a big company. Yeah, tell Keena she's disturbing my colleagues with her laugh.
You really want to come at me this morning?
Yeah. They said they have to bring the volume down lower and lower because of you. Because of you.
That's not my fault. That's Andre's fault and that's his fault.
Fault.
That's not my
Fault.
fault. I didn't have a choice. Oh my gosh, there's some feedback happening.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. It's not mine. Maybe you.
Me? Oh, my laugh, maybe.
It was the laugh. But just quickly, the bolom thing, I forgot that part. Meat, you have to feed that. That's not eating anything else.
And I'm the one from Sufret. I don't know nothing about Bulla.
Right.
Okay.
But we knew, we just forgot. you don't know that. We just forgot. But yes, I heard that too. Is meat you have to feed the bolom.
She don't know.
Apparently, you'll make more bolom than me.
Oh gosh. Okay. So where the feedback coming
No
from?
idea.
All right. No crime should be politicized, even if politicized. Whichever government lowers the rate should be credited with the gains. Likewise, take the blame for the loss. West Edward says, Antigua, that is delinquent and reckless. West Edward again, a dumb politician took us out of the Petro-Caribe deal. Lorena Maida, good morning, guys. How are you guys doing? Kiki, Tony, and Andre, hope you guys have a beautiful day ahead. Princess Nelson, I'm sure I would remember that name. Princess Nelson. Andre, you ever remember Princess Nelson checking in?
I think so.
Okay. Well, all right.
Oh, by the way, I just heard from Angels Without Wings. She says the cakes are ready.
Whoa.
So I shall collect them later today.
Wow.
Okay?
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you once again. We've said so a few times, but man, that's why you're called Angel Without Wings, because you just keep coming through and the stuff is great. So thank you very, very much. All right, Peacemaker says, good morning, my three, me man. Good morning, good morning, my three loving people. I'm busy listening, but can't watch you, my lovers. So sorry, just take a little time to text and say hello to all. Andre, no, she says, and all who is watching and listening. I love all my St. Lucian people. That's for everyone. That's Peacemaker. Thank you, Peacemaker. Septima Joseph says, good morning to all listening to the Rev-Up family. Rev-Up St. Lucia, have a wonderful day. That's Septima Joseph. D. Francis Obeys checking in and saying, hi, happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you, D.
Thank you,
and
D.
she says, I'm here listening as always. Barbara Augustine says, always a pleasure listening to my favorite people. Good morning, Andre. I'm standing by you. I'm standing by you. Your brother is a white man. Maybe she meant your brother-in-law is a white man.
Yeah.
Stop. All the Rev-Up family, good morning. So they're standing with you. If he white, say he white.
Yeah.
By the way, Don said whatever you say. That's fine.
No problem.
Yeah. All right? Okay. So, well done, Joseph. That's West Edward. Joseph. Okay. Oh, Joseph meaning maybe the cricket. All right. To two of the lesser charges have been dropped, and most likely Trump will pardon him.
That's Diddy.
I guess we're talking about Diddy, yes. All right. Good morning, my sister. That's Lucita Champion saying good morning. That's what control does. The West State Duet again. West State Duet, P. Diddy is an animal. Nancy Graceland. All right, Nancy, what do you have to say this time? Hollywood is so used to their nastiness. Diddy is just an example of what goes on. Diddy pissed off the wrong powers that be. So they're making him pay.
Yep.
All right, West State Duet again. You got that right, Pearl Food Baby Henry. Good morning and happy midweek to the lovely host of Rev-Up St. Lucia and all in the chat room. Thank you very much for that. Mario Lewandi. Mario Lewandi, Leandre. Let's call it Lewandi. He says, good morning, guys and lady. Philip Herman, hi, thank you. Good morning. He says, can you please ask Weatherman where is he watching the cricket? All right, Weatherman, that's a question for you. Where you watching the cricket? Arlette Richard says, blessed day to the Rev-Up crew. Thank you, Arlette. Good morning, and as always, shout
Good
Paul
morning,
for us. Moving right along quickly, Mario says, Keena, what's happening to you there? A little again, I say is, and he stopped right there, Mario. West Duet Ebe Borkina. Christine Saint Romain. Andre, you're
A bit for you.
yeah, Andre, you're bien point. Keena, good for you, for her. Something about that. Christine Saint Romain. And finally, Peter Gabriel says there must be a bolom in the studio with all that feedback. Too much bolom talk. And Vanetta Shalman.
Wayne.
Yeah, man. Good morning,
Hey,
beautiful
morning,
people.
Vanetta.
Yeah, have a great day.
That's strange.
That's why I look at you and I'm like, wow,
That's
Vanetta.
super strange. What did she say?
Just a simple good morning, people. Have a great day, all.
All right, Vanetta, thank you very much.
Yeah. When I'm about to wrap it up and say goodbye, Vanetta Charlemagne. Sylvester Bissett, the Cricket Live on TNT Sports, ESPN Caribbean, and West Indies Cricket. That's how quick that boy is. Sylvester Bissett, the weatherman.
Oh,
Yep,
great.
I so
Thank
appreciate you,
Sylvester.
weatherman. So appreciate you, man.
You know, I'm happy I got to know Vanetta because I can spell Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
Yeah, to spell it correctly.
Yes. All right.
You think you can spell it without looking at it? You think? Yeah.
Because it's spelled Charlemagne, and I
Mm.
always CHARLAMAGNE.
All right.
Yeah. So
Well, we're at the bottom of the dial
that's the
now.
thing, eh?
So,
Yeah.
How much time you have there?
A minute?
No, sorry. I meant how many messages do you have?
Maybe about 10.
Okay, well, let's go.
Try
Okay.
to do it.
Yeah.
Josie Ann says, good morning, Rev-Up
Is
family.
Josie all over the place today, boy?
All over the place, boy.
A
Oi,
blessed
oi,
day
oi.
to all. Someone else chimed in and says, good morning, guys. Hope all is well. Mr. Paul, once again, good morning. Good program. I'm always locked down once I can. I need a favor from you, Tony. I believe with what's going on in the world today, I would love if you could play 2 songs on your Saturday morning.
Old
You want me
school-
to tell you
old
later?
school jams? Yeah, you can say it right now? Just quickly.
I believe she didn't say. Where do we go from here by Lord Carroll?
Okay.
And I believe with what's going on in the world today, this song is appropriate and making bread on the dead.
Okay.
I don't think you can get those, boy.
Yeah.
These are records.
Yeah.
I don't know if YouTube. I don't think they'll have
May
that.
have one of them. YouTube just may have one of them.
Maybe they're making bread on the dead.
Yeah,
Maybe that one.
perhaps.
But where do we go from here, Carol? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's our current Caro. I think
Like
that's his
Caro?
father.
T-
That's his
T- Caro?
father. Yeah,
Oh,
T. Caro. That's his
okay.
dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That was a great song, actually.
What?
Yeah, where do
Won
we
the
go
crown
from
with
here?
it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was on the record. I remember that well.
Someone else chimed in and says, good morning, Keena, Andre, Tony. Been a while. Good day from Tekla L.
Oh,
I-
yes, that's right. Tekla, hi, good morning.
Ivy Jr. chimed in and she says, good morning, Andre, Keena, Tony. Nice to have you back with us. You were missed. I hope you got your special assignment done yesterday. She sends kisses as well.
That's what we said yesterday, Tony. Your special assignment.
And I appreciated that.
Oh, somebody says that both is actually on YouTube, both songs.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, so
Nice.
Tony, you must check it out.
Definitely.
I think he's doing that now.
I just
Okay.
punched it up. It's there. Where do we go from here?
You actually found it.
Yeah. So it's-
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, amazing.
Mm-hmm. And what's the
Thank
other
God
one
for
again, just
YouTube,
quickly?
boy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Thank God for YouTube.
Making bread on, the dead. Right.
Yes. Yes.
Let me just check quickly if that one is there while you.
That's Mighty, right?
Mighty.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mike. Over
You remember King Barras?
How you
Yeah,
mean?
King Barras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gina.
Thanks for accepting my call. Says Andre, that's for you. Doctor in the house, two great topics, menopause and blood.
Andre,
Okay.
yes, last night. Wow.
And he also went on to say, Andre, there are bullworms in real life.
Well, I must ask him if he ever saw one.
I'm sure he's going to respond to you later. Somebody else says, good morning to the trio and the River family. Have a pleasant day and the rest of the week. Always enjoying the laughter between you guys. Blessings from Sunshine.
And by the way, thanks for taking my call. He got a lot of compliments last night on the show. The questions that he was asking. Yeah. Very
Oh,
good.
great.
It was really good. Really, really good.
Someone else, for you, Andre. Andre, that was a very interesting show last night with Doctor in the House. Keep up the good work. Very interesting last night.
Yeah, Dr.
So that's
Suraj.
from, let's see, Vel. Someone else chimed in and says, good day to you folks, Tony, Andre, and Keena. As much as helmets save lives, they also cause deaths. One example, cutthroats from straps.
Oh. Ooh.
I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone else, that one is quite long. Okay, no. The person says, good morning. This is one reason why I don't place a fuss on artists. A whole bunch of them are into drugs and illicit activities. It's sad some of us and our children idolize them. I guess referring to Didi. Gigi says, she's just sending laughing. She says, I'm loving you guys to the core. You are too funny. Boy, laughter therapy for the soul. And just emojis. Someone else chimed in and says, good morning, River family. Blessed Wednesday to each and every one of you. Greetings to Mary Alexander and Linda Jabadis of Choiseul from Tekla Auger of A4. Thank you so much. Boy, I couldn't help laughing with you guys, especially Keena. LOL. Luther Henry chimed in. He said, thank you very much, Miss Salopang, and God bless you and your family from the Henry family. And he also went on to say, say hello to her sisters, Loveless and Lorena in the Philippines. Smalley, mechanic.
That's our partner.
He says, you guys are crazy. Morning, Rev-Up family.
Morning, Smalley.
Someone else says, both is on YouTube. That's Songs, Tones.
I saw both
Right?
of them. Yes, both of them are there.
Someone else chimed in. I think we just have two left, Andre. Good morning, the Paul brothers, especially Tony, not forgetting Keena. Welcome back. My dear Tony, I would like to send birthday greetings to my loving niece, Yolanda Thomas, a.k.a. Ren of Monsignor, who is celebrating her birthday today. These greetings are coming from the entire Lirandi family in Martinique, especially Auntie Dora, main buddy. Thanks a million. Tony, Andre, and Keena. She is my niece.
Nice.
And merch, she actually sent the songs. That's it.
Okay.
For our WhatsApp platform.
All right.
Okay, so we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
This has been another hard drive. We don't have any hard drive tomorrow, Thursday, and on Friday. That's because tomorrow we'll be having Meet the Opposition, and on Friday we have Meet the Minister. Okay, so there's no hard drive on Thursday and Friday. So God willing, we'll be back next week, Monday. Thank you so much for the company. Thanks for being with us. Keena is going to be with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. So, Keena, what do you have coming up?
Find out which legendary sprinter has confirmed her retirement. Jamaican sprinter, that is. So I'll talk about that. The U.S. Embassy is now requiring, we've been hearing talk about that for quite some time, social media handles when applying for visas. So they're cracking down, and anybody who's applying for a visa, they need to share their social media handles with the U.S. Embassy. Yep.
I don't qualify. I don't qualify.
Dominica is also taking bold steps to protect your life. You don't have social media
No,
pages.
I don't.
They'll find you on YouTube. They'll say, I
still
don't,
can't
but
skip. I can't skip.
no, you can't escape. You don't. That's it. Don't go looking for one now.
Yeah.
Don't create one.
And I'm sure they're checking me out already. I'm sure of that. Yeah, they're doing some checking.
As she's perhaps said on the YouTube and so on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're doing some checking.
I'm sure by the
Sure
time
of that.
if you do, they'll just, you can Google Andre Paul. Hello.
Yeah, but there's nothing.
There's nothing
there.
there except something on Trump.
Well,
That's the only
problem.
thing.
That's the problem.
That's the only thing.
All right.
But you're good. You're good.
So Keena will be with you until 3 this afternoon. 3 o'clock is going to be Zen the DJ. So since today is Wednesday, that means from 6 until 7 this evening, Tony will be back here with Rev Up the Homegrown. All right? So until tomorrow morning, God willing, same time, 5 o'clock for another Wake Up and Live. Andre Paul wishing you, on behalf of Tony and Keena, wishing you a great day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Dax, Castries, Grosley, and Rodney Bay. You want to wine and dine? I'll give you the facts. The best cuisine and entertainment is at Dax. Alex is I all carry you.